Good morning, boys and girls. We're going to be starting a brand new unit on the human body, systems and senses. You have talked about the human body before. In science, for every grade, you have talked about the human body. Back in kindergarten, you had the 5 senses. In first grade, you talked about the human body. Second grade, you talked about building blocks and nutrition. And this year, we're really going to be talking about systems and senses again, and concentrating on things that you haven't already concentrated on. So in second grade, you learned about the digestive system and the excretory systems. But this year, we're going to concentrate on some other senses. Let's bring this down here and see if we can. Oh, come on, let's go. Ooh. We have 2 posters. These are all the different body systems. Sorry, it's sideways. In your book, you'll be able to see it, I think, and it's not sideways. And then we're going to talk about the building blocks. Those are the systems, and then these are the building blocks of those systems. You'll sort of see this progression of arrows. So we have cells, which make up tissues, which make up organs, which make up systems. And here's an example. You have a nerve cell, which makes up nerve tissue, which makes up the brain, which is the main part of the nervous system. Here's a different example. You have muscle cell, which makes up muscle tissue, which makes up the stomach, which is part of the digestive system. So those things are things that we are going to concentrate more on as we go through these stories. And come back up toward the top if I can. We're going to have just a review lesson today. And start with these folks who I think you know from years past. We're going to learn about how the human body works, review different ways that you keep your body healthy. Super important, especially this year with COVID-19 and the flu season coming up. We will have to be extremely careful to keep our body healthy. We'll be learning mostly about 3 of the human body systems. We're going to learn about the skeletal system. We're going to learn about the muscular system and the nervous system, how they work together and help the human body function. There are a lot more systems in the human body, but for now, with the exception of a brief overview and review of some of the other systems, we're going to learn mainly about these 3. You're going to learn more about other body systems in later grades. We just build on what you know. So learn carefully this year, and we will build on that in further years. Do you remember Dr. Wellbody? She's a rhyming pediatrician. Here she is. You saw her in grade 1 in the human body. Well, we're going to learn about the human body through a narrator named Ricardo. The narrator is the person who tells the story in the story. So Ricardo's going to be our narrator. I am not a narrator. I'm just a reader. Okay. And I think that can be a little bit confusing sometimes, but Ricardo is going to be the narrator. He is the one through whom the story is being told. So Ricardo is our narrator. I am the storyteller, just the reader. So listen carefully to this read aloud to hear a little bit about the skeletal, muscular, nervous, digestive, circulatory, respiratory, excretory systems. Those are all of the systems of the body. And then we're going to listen more about the building blocks of the human body. Hello, everybody. I'm Ricardo. I'm in the 4th grade, and I am fascinated by the human body and its complex, interconnected systems. I hope to continue to learn about the human body in great detail and become a doctor someday. Okay, so that was Ricardo, his introduction to this whole unit. He is the one who is going to be telling this story. He is the narrator. Dr. Wellbody is a friend of mine. Who remembers Dr. Wellbody? She's the rhyming pediatrician whom some of you may have met when you were in first grade. Dr. Wellbody taught you about your body using several rhymes like this one. Everybody has a body, and I have one too. It is grand to understand the things our bodies do. Dr. Wellbody just happens to be one of my very own pediatricians. She also is one of my teachers, not the kind of teacher you find in school, but because she's taught me so much about my body. She has asked me to come share a little of what I've learned with you. Thanks for welcoming me. I can't wait. Our bodies are often compared with machines. That comparison may seem strange to you at first because machines are non-living objects and our bodies are very much alive. But think about it. Machines are made up of networks. That's a complex interconnected system. Human body systems include lots of different parts working together to perform very special jobs. Dr. Wellbody says that our bodies are the most marvelous machines on earth, and I think you will agree with her once we review how our bodies work. Just as Dr. Wellbody loves rhymes, I love riddles. So expect to hear a lot of riddles from me. Let's begin our lesson with one now. I am as strong as a tree trunk, but with a little help from other human body systems, I can bend in many directions. I give your body its shape. What am I? It is your skeletal system. You're right. Does anyone know which system of the body includes your skeleton? Your skeletal system. It's that bony system that supports you, protects your important organs inside your body. The skeletal system is only one of many systems working together in your body. Now I'm going to ask you some more riddles and see if you can match the riddle to the right body system. Are you ready? Let's go. And remember, this is the narrator, Ricardo, talking. I'm the system that makes your bones move. I also help you blink and swallow. What system am I? Well, the muscular system is made up of muscles. Muscles are the motors of the human machine, and they keep your body moving in lots of different ways. Some are attached to your bones to help you run and throw a ball. Others line the walls of your stomach, squeezing in and then relaxing to help digest your food. Small muscles in your face help you smile. Your strongest and most important muscle, your heart, works nonstop, pumping blood throughout your body day and night. Here's the next riddle. See if you know what this one is. Without me, you would not be able to feel, see, or hear. I control your senses by sending messages to my command center, the brain. What am I? If you answered the nervous system, you're correct. The nervous system is your body's communicator. It tells your body what to do. Nerves run through your body from head to toe like a giant road system. Nerves send messages up and down your spine to your brain. The nervous system controls your muscles, telling you how to move. It also helps all your other systems do their jobs. Sounds pretty important, doesn't it? Here's the next riddle. I work like a food processing machine. You put food in your mouth, and I churn it up for the rest of your body to use as fuel. What system am I? This is one you spent a lot of time on last year. The digestive system. That's right. The digestive system helps you digest or break down your food. It splits your food into nutrients, giving your body energy to live and grow. Food enters your mouth and travels down a long tube called the esophagus all the way to the stomach and the intestines. It takes food nearly 2 days to pass all the way through your body. Ready for another riddle? I work like a water filter. I get rid of harmful substances in the liquid that passes through your body. I excrete them or push them out of the body. What system am I? I am the excretory system. The excretory system excretes or gets rid of liquids such as sweat and urine that may be harmful to the body. Your skin, the largest organ of the body, excretes sweat through its many pores. A pair of organs called the kidneys filter harmful substances and extra water from the blood and send them to your bladder. And your bladder looks like a bag holding excess fluids or urine until it's ready to pass out of your body. Here's another riddle. I am your body's delivery system. I deliver nutrients and oxygen to all parts of your body. Nutrients and oxygen circulate or are carried around through the body by blood vessels in a circle. The heart acts as my pump. What am I? The circulatory system. The circulatory system is made up of your heart, blood vessels, and blood. Blood enters your heart and is pumped into a large blood vessel. Blood vessels carry blood to every part of your body and loop back again. This circulation of the blood carrying nutrients and oxygen happens all day long and all night long. Here's our last riddle for now. I carry oxygen to your blood. Without oxygen, you cannot live. I also get rid of carbon dioxide that the body does not need. I help you breathe. What system am I? That's right, the respiratory system. The respiratory system brings air filled with oxygen into your body. You can live without food for days, but you cannot live for more than just a few minutes without oxygen. You breathe in air through your mouth and nose and exhale a gas called carbon dioxide. Air travels through a tube into your lungs. Remember, you don't have gills, you have lungs, the organ that takes up most of your chest. Your lungs take in the oxygen to keep you alive. And remember, you even learned last time that you have a muscle that expands and contracts to help make room in your chest for your lungs. And that's called the diaphragm. That's part of your respiratory system as well. So let's take a look at this. Wow. You've identified 7 of the body's systems. Let's see if you can name all 7 with me. Skeletal, muscular, nervous, digestive, excretory, circulatory, respiratory. Wow. Now it's time to find out what all these systems have in common. The systems of the human body are organ systems. Let me say that again. The systems of the human body are organ systems. Each system is made up of organs, parts of the body with clearly defined functions. Let me read that again. Each system in the body is made up of organs. Organs have clearly defined functions. For example, your stomach is an organ. Your stomach works closely with your other organs, your mouth, your esophagus, your liver, and your intestines. These organs are all part of your digestive system. So organs are part of a system. Each one of these organs has a specific function to perform as part of your digestive system's overall job, breaking down your body's food. Organs, then, are made up of tissues. Tissues are masses of cells that have a specific structure and come together to form organs. There are many different types of tissues, including muscle tissue, bone tissue, skin tissue, blood tissue, and nerve tissue. Each type of tissue is made up of different groups of similar cells that all do the same jobs. All body tissues are made up of cells. All body tissues are made up of cells. Organs are made up of tissues. Tissues are made up of cells. Okay. What exactly are cells? Well, cells are tiny building blocks. So tiny, in fact, that nobody even knew what they were or that they even existed until microscopes were invented about 400 years ago. Microscopes magnify cells, making them big enough to see and study. Your body contains trillions of cells. Cells come in all shapes and sizes depending upon the job they must perform. For example, red blood cells look like bagels with dents instead of holes. They travel through your body, carrying important nutrients all over your body. Skin cells, grouped together in skin tissue, are packed tightly together to form a protective boundary between you and your environment. Your skin is your largest organ. Your skin is your largest organ. Nerve cells are grouped together in nerve tissue and often have long extensions that send and receive messages quickly. Muscle cells grouped together in muscle tissue look very different too. They're long and lean, helping the body move as they stretch and shorten. Each body system is made up of different types of cells. There are over 200 types of cells in your body. Everything you do, from breathing to eating to running to sleeping, requires a lot of working cells. They are truly the building blocks of your body. Without cells, there would be no body tissues, no body organs, and no body systems. In fact, all living things have cells. There would be no living things on Earth if it weren't for cells. Wow, that paragraph was packed full of information. In fact, this entire introductory unit is packed full of information. We will probably use this as a review before we have our assessment at the end of the unit because it's packed so full of information. Cells are alive, and living things do not last forever. Some cells live for only a few days. Others live for a few years. Some cells become damaged when you get hurt. Others wear out over time. But inside your body's tissues, cells are constantly dividing and multiplying. Oh, sounds like math. One cell becomes 2 cells. 2 cells become 4 cells. 4 cells become 8 cells, and so forth. As cells die, the dead cells are replaced with new cells on a daily basis. Isn't the life cycle of cells amazing? Here's your narrator, Ricardo, again. Well, everybody, we're out of time. Today, you've heard a little about a lot of body systems. Next time, I'll take you back to give you a peek inside your body. I'm looking forward to discussing the human body systems with you. See you next time. So here are some really basic but important questions to discuss about this read aloud. This sort of sets the whole tone for what we're going to be learning in our read aloud. So, what makes up the skeletal system? Bones and the skeleton. All of your bones together, when they are put in order, are called the skeleton. If your bones are not in order, then it's just bones. But once they are put in order, they become a skeleton. And what's the function of the skeletal system? It supports the human body and it protects important organs in the body. What makes up the muscular system? Pretty easy. Muscles. And what is the function or job of the muscular system? Muscles help the body move in many different ways. Muscles of your muscular system that are attached to the skeletal system help you move. Muscles that are not attached to the skeletal system help you do other jobs like digestion. Number 3, what makes up the nervous system? Nerves, your brain. Okay. And what's the function or job of the nervous system? Nerves run all through the human body. They send messages up and down the spine and to and from the brain. The nervous system controls the other human body systems. The nervous system controls the other human body systems and helps them to do their jobs. What's the function or job of the digestive system? Okay, boys and girls, by the time we get done with all of these questions, I should not have to tell you what the word function means. You should know that a function is a job. What's the function of the digestive system? What's the job of the digestive system? What does it do? It helps to break down food, splitting food into nutrients that give the body energy to help it live and grow. That sentence is packed with information. The digestive system helps to break down food, splitting food into nutrients that give the body energy to help it live and grow. What is the function of the excretory system? Well, it gets rid of liquids such as sweat and urine that might be harmful if they stayed in your body. What's the function of the circulatory system? The circulatory system, think of the word circle. The pumping of the heart circulates or circles the nutrients and oxygen in the blood all around the body through blood vessels. And what's the function of the respiratory system? It helps. It's the actual bringing of oxygen into the human body, and it gets rid of a gas called carbon dioxide. So that's your lungs and the diaphragm, your tubes that are associated with your lungs to bring air containing oxygen into your lungs, where your circulatory system can pick up that oxygen and take it around to the rest of the body. What are organs? Ding, 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 ding. Know this one. Organs are parts of the body that have specific functions or jobs and that form systems. Organs form systems. So what are examples of organs that you've heard about? Heart is an organ. Lungs are an organ. Stomachs are organs. Intestines are organs. Let me go down here and show you this last poster again. Come on. It would be helpful to work. There we go. I know it's sideways, but you can handle that. So this is called the building blocks of the human body, your human body. So this is the building blocks of your body. What is each organ in the human body made of? Organs are made up of whatever is above that, tissues. Tissues are composed of cells. Are all tissues and cells the same? No, we have two examples here where they are very different. Nerve cells look very different than muscle cells. They look different because they have different functions and they work differently. Okay? Nerve cells have different jobs. They are structured differently. They make nerve tissues. They make up the brain and the spinal cord, which is part of the nervous system. Muscle cells make up muscle tissues. One of those is a stomach muscle, which is part of the digestive system. You also have skeletal muscles, which would help your body move. We don't really know when our stomach is moving. Every once in a while, you might feel it gurgle, and you might feel it moving a little bit if you are super still, but usually we're not still and quiet enough to feel our stomachs moving. So some of the examples of the different types of cells that make up the different kinds of tissues are skin cells, make up skin, the largest organ in the whole body. Muscle cells create muscle tissue. Blood cells create blood. Here we saw nerve cells create nerve tissue. Why are human bodies compared to complex machines? Why are bodies compared to machines? Well, if we are comparing things, we can compare and we can also contrast. To compare is to tell how something is the same. To contrast is to say how it is different. And we could use a Venn diagram, those two circles that intersect where there's space in the middle, to talk about how they are both the same. But on the outsides of those circles, where we just have one circle for machines and one circle for human body, we can talk about how they are different. So if we're going to compare a human body with a complex machine, we're using that space in the middle where two circles overlap or intersect, and we can talk about how machines and bodies are the same. So the human body, like a complex machine, is composed of different systems that do different jobs. So we have different parts of our body that do different jobs, but they all work together in one body. Complex machines have different parts of one machine that works together to function. These different systems have many different interconnected parts. They need to work together in order to function properly. So we learned that we have lungs and fish have gills. We learned that last unit. How can you compare human lungs and fish gills, and how can you contrast? So that question is asking, how are they the same and how are they different? Compare is how something is the same. Contrast is how something is different. You can use the words same, different, compare, and contrast in your answers to let us know. So if I say both, that is a word that I'm going to be using when I compare something. Both of lungs and gills take in oxygen, which is necessary for this creature to survive. I'm going to contrast something and say, however, Lungs get oxygen from the air, whereas gills get oxygen from the water. Those are contrasting words. When I want to say how something is different, or when I want to contrast, I would say lungs are different from, or I can make one statement, lungs get oxygen from the air, whereas, and that's a contrast statement, gills get oxygen from the water. All right. I want you to think, what are some ways the various systems in your body are working this very moment? How are your body systems working right this second? Cool. Thank you for listening.